Hello everyone and welcome back to my nail station. I am going to show you today. Now we've walked through a few different things with these same nails. So this is my third go around. I'm really liking these nails, so I'm not really convinced I want to change them yet, as you can tell. So we have made a few little transformations and we have tidied up these lines a little bit and made a more defined line, as you know. Now what I'm going to do is everybody seems to love stamping. And well, and why wouldn't you, right? It's so easy and just so quick, and you can put cute little designs on there, and for for any of those of us that are not maybe as creative, it's an easy way to add some beautiful little designs to the nails. So what I'm thinking for today is I was originally going to do a cheetah, which I love. But then I decided I'm going to do zebra instead. So I'm going to use Number Glam. Once again, Light Elegance Gel. This is the one that we used in our last production, as well as Ice Ice Baby. Same one we used last time as well. And I'm going to just do a solid nail here on my statement. So solid with these two colors and, well, two glitters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our What's Up stamping plate. This is B025, and these are animal textures. So I think I am going to use this one right there. So both of these are zebra. This looks more maybe like a zebra back. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm going to do this one because I kind of like that design in there and the texture. And that should be actually really nice just over a solid here. So we're going to get started. What I'm going to do first of all is I do need to remove the shine from here. Now, it wasn't that long ago these were done, just a few days ago, so I don't need to fill or anything like that. But what I do need to do is I do need to remove the shine. So I'm just going to use my sanding band and quickly just go over the top, remove the shine, remove the dust, give it a little clean with my cleanser, and then we're going to put our Glam and Ice Ice Baby on there. Okay, so I'm going to switch out my bit. I have my cuticle bit on here right now. I'm going to change into, this is my KUPA adjustable sanding band mandrel with my medium sanding band. We're going to turn our speed on. We don't need the speed up too high. Actually, let's just move some of these things out of the way first. Why don't we do that? Okay, I've removed my setup here, so you guys saw what I was going to be working with. Now we're going to get down to work. Medium sanding band on our KUPA adjustable mandrel. And I'm going to turn up to about a third of the speed here, so not a high speed, because all I need to do is literally just remove this surface here, one side to the other, one side to the other, just remove that surface. We don't need to do a lot here, and like I said earlier, we're not filling or anything like that. We just want to put a full cover coat of our glitter over the top. Okay. That high right there. Okay. And so that should be good with that. We're going to switch out our bit. We're just going to go into our under nail cleaner cuticle bit that I use all the time from KUPA. And I'm going to be just under halfway on the speed here. We don't want to be too high on that speed. Now, I could do all the cuticle pushing back and everything because that is something that we do every time. But these are so new and so fresh. I can get away with just doing this part. And I'm almost just pushing those cuticles back with my bit here. So kind of a little two-in-one tool. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. Okay. If we want, we can just do a little clean underneath too. Okay. So now we are ready for the next step. So I'm going to clean off. I'm not going to use any, these are just my little SILKLINE pads. I have these at my station today because we are going to be doing stamping. So, okay, so a little solution on there, our cleanser, and there we go. Okay, so now we're ready for that application. I could use tack, I could use primer. I am just going to go right into my gel. Why? Because once again, the nails are very fresh. So I'm not going to do all of that. Okay, I'm going to grab my light elegance brush. I'll be right back. So number glam, we're going in with our number glam. And we're just going to get some on our brush here. I'm going to just kind of take it from this top here. Usually it's a little bit denser in the top. This would be if I stirred it right away, but there's still lots in that top. So I'm going to just use some of that up here. Here, grab a bit more. If you wanted this to be really solid, you could do a color underpainting. So you could use black, you could use white, you could use beige, whatever color you wanted to, but that'll actually make this bling just that little bit denser. Personal preference, if you want to do that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. What we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick freeze cure. I'm using the Power Cure today from American Nails. It's kind of convenient in my home station because it's got a little bit of a smaller footprint, although it's still a full hand light. But as well, it is a cordless machine. So then I don't have quite so many cords. I cord it while it's plugged in and charging, but then after that it's a little bit more portable for me, which I kind of like. Okay, so we're going to come back in. I'm going to do a second coat here. Let's make sure we get really nice into those sides. Remember to cap your free edge. And we're going to come over here, right down that side, so that we have a nice layer of color. Okay, and you guys can see that. Okay, we're going to do a quick little freeze on that again. And I'm just going to use one of these whites from my brush. Now I'm just going to grab my Ice Baby because I kind of want it to match, and this is what we did with the other nails. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of this, and I'm just going to put this over the top as well. You see how it's kind of intensifies the bling, and it also makes it a little bit more multi-dimensional because we do have two different kinds of glitter here. One a little bit finer that is more of a kind of a muted gold silver combo, whereas Ice Baby is very silver with these little white flecks in there. Okay, so we're looking at that. I think that's pretty good. Okay, well, why don't we do a full cure on that one then? Let's put our cap back on there. Let's wipe our brush off. And now what we want to do is we want to, when I am stamping, I do like to stamp over a mat. If you don't have a mat, why do I like to stamp over a mat? Because then when we are stamping with our polish, it has a little bit of a grab. In art, we call that tooth. So it's got some tooth, so it's not slip sliding around on you. Now, if you don't happen to have matte, well, that's okay. I'll show you how to do that with Super Shiny instead of our matte top coat so that you guys have two different options, even if you don't have a matte. Okay, I'll be right back with our top coat. Okay, so we have done a 30-second cure on that. And now we're going to go in with our Super Shiny. Don't wipe this. Okay, we're just going to go right in with Super Shiny. Nice and close to that cuticle, but you don't want to be touching. If you touch, it'll lift. And we're just going to cap that edge nicely. Okay, 30 seconds, LED on that. If you are using UV, unfortunately, you're going to have to sit in your light for 2 minutes. Yeah, you know, 2 minutes used to seem fairly quick back in the day, but not anymore. Not when you get used to your LED lights. Make sure you have a really good quality LED light too, by the way. A lot of the generics in the marketplace that, you know, you may be using if you're a DIY, which is okay. You know, you're just working on yourself, and that is okay. Now, if you are a DIY working on yourself and you don't have a license, you're not going to be using your Light Elegance or your Accents or your Fusion anyways. However, let's say you are a DIY and you have just a generic low wattage light. That is okay, but if you are a professional, you really need to have the proper light, a high intensity, something that has been rated by the manufacturers of professional nail products, or else you're going to be compromising your curing and therefore your client's nails, the longevity of their service. Okay, so there we go. And now what we're going to do, because I said I want this to be matte, okay? So instead of our Super Shiny, we could have put our matte finish. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the smoother side of our board here. So this side here is our 180. I'm going to use our 280, nice and smooth. And we're just going to go over the top just to put a bit of tooth onto the surface so that when we stamp, we're not slip sliding around. So we don't need to do much here, but you can see how this has transformed that surface. Let's come down in here, in here, in here, and let's just get that little bit at the top. Okay, so there we go. And we can wipe that off. And now we're going to be back in just a second with my stamping, and we are going to do our zebra stripe. Okay, here we are again. So we did decide on this one here. Now, when I stamp it on my nail, though, I'm going to actually turn the stamping plate this way so that when I pick this up on the button, I can just go in straight instead of turning it, because I feel like that should be going down the nail. I mean, I'm sure it really doesn't matter, but okay, so let's get our stamping button ready here. And we have our scraper, of course. So we're going to put our paint onto here, and we're going to scrape off that way. Now, I'm going to probably use this whole thing, and I'm going to just put it over my entire nail here. Okay, so it's not just going to be like a half one like we did last time. Okay, so I think we've got everything in place. I'm going to actually just wet this just a little bit. This is our plate cleaner again, our clear jelly stamper plate cleaner, and I always have a little bit of that on hand in a dish. I use it for my little cleanup brush here, and I use it to wipe my scraper, and I also use it to clean my plate. And okay, so I think we're ready to go. So this one it is. Now, I am going to be pushing this off this way, as I said, like that, okay? Ideally, because you're going to be going that way, we're going to pull this way. So if anything isn't in those grooves properly, you can capture it. Okay, there you go. And we're going to come in with our button, and we're going to do that. Whoa, that's cute. Okay, that's kind of cute, hey? Ha ha ha. All right, and there's a tiny little area right here that didn't quite get our stamp, so just added a bit in there. And let's come back. Oh, a bit messy today, aren't we? Ooh, and of course this is black. All right, so I'm just going to a little tiny bit more detail in here. The black can be a little bit hard to work with because it is very, very pigmented. It's kind of like working with black ink. Okay, so that's cute, right? I like it. And now what we're going to do, we can finish this up with our stamping polish, a clear stamping polish, like the clear jelly stamper one. Oh, still a little bit left on there. Or we could finish it with gel. So I think I'm going to finish this with one with my super shiny. This is stamping polish, so once again, make sure it's really dry before you go in with any kind of top coat, or else you might have a bit of smearing. And this here, once I get enough on here, this will actually just clean right up. Why? Because this is that silicone mat, so we can use acetone on here. We'll do a proper clean afterwards, like always at the end. For right now, this is our in-between. Just while we're waiting here. Look at all this black I have everywhere. Okay, I'm going to be right back with you once we've had enough time for this to dry properly, and then we're going to top it with some super shiny top coat. Okay, now here's our super shiny. So we've just been waiting for this to be really dry. Now, if you were doing all 10 nails, of course, you could kind of start back at the beginning, but we only had one to do here. And like I say, we don't want this to smear on us. I also try to be a little bit lighter on my brush too when it's stamping that we're setting in, so that I'm not quite dragging hard through the polish, just to be safe. Okay, so we're ready for a 30-second cure. Okay, so now we have our solution. We can wipe off. Now, hopefully, while we're doing this, this is going to clean my finger up a little bit, get rid of some of that black nail polish. This is just a cleanser, but the nail polish is just an alcohol-based cleanser. So, but the nail polish on my skin will come off pretty easily now. Okay, so that's a little bit better. We could get right on this side a little bit more as well too. Okay, and as always, you can finish up with washing your hands and your cuticle oil. And I think that is our lesson for the day. I'm just going to go do a little bit of cleanup, and then I can snap a couple of photos for everyone. Okay, have a great day.